Hi, my name's Lee Pemberton and I would love to share with you how you can set up a serviced accommodation business in the next 30 days. Now, whoa, you're going to say, come on Lee, that cannot be possible. That is not a way that you can set up a serviced accommodation business. But I just want to share in this very short video exactly how you can do that if this is of interest to you. So let me just go through a little bit more detail with you right now. I started in serviced accommodation 20 years ago. Now, I started in serviced accommodation having come out of a hotel industry, and the biggest challenge I had at the time was one, a lack of funds, and secondly, trying to convince letting agents and landlords that I wanted to rent their property and I was going to take their property, guarantee the rent to them on a monthly basis and pay all the property costs, and then be able to let that property on a nightly basis to corporate and leisure guests. They did not get that. They didn't understand what that was all about. And I really had real challenges trying to convince letting agents and landlords way back then. And if we look at it, it's exactly the same situation we're in right now. It's really difficult trying to convince landlords and letting agents what a serviced accommodation property is all about. And I think there are ways around it, but what I'd love to be able to share with you now is how we can offer you a ready-made package that takes away all that hassle for you. It's called Portfolio Builder. And if this is of interest to you, I'd love to go into a little bit more detail right now and share with you exactly how Portfolio Builder works. So quite simply, what we are doing is this. Over the years, I've built up a large network of landlords and developers where I'm talking to directly. In fact, with a lot of them, I'm working with them directly for them to create what I would call a really, really nice serviced accommodation apartment or house. Now, what we're doing from there is the landlord is in a situation at the moment where they are unable to sell these units. And the reason they're unable to sell the units is because of this whole Brexit fiasco that's going on at the moment. But what we do know is that finance is cheap. So we are talking to these landlords and developers. We are offering them what we call a multi-investor approach. So quite simply, when you have a developer or a landlord with a block of 10 apartments, we are saying to that landlord, look, we can secure for a 5-year lease, up to a 5-year lease, we will find operators that will come in and take these individual units off you. So it completely spreads your risk. You're not going with one operator, you're going with 10 operators in a block of 10 apartments. And they like that. They really like that approach because it really de-risks their investment model. What they're then able to do is they can then go to the banks because they got a 5-year lease and they can refinance. What we do know is money's still cheap to borrow. So they can refinance and they can pull out any money they've got and then they can move on to their next project, which is fantastic. And that's a great model in its own right. But for you as the operator, for you wanting to get going with serviced accommodation, we've got an opportunity here where we can take these apartments that I've negotiated on the rent below market value, I've negotiated on deposits, and I negotiate on the furnishings as well. So I can give you a ready-made product that's ready to go. And that's how you're able to set up within the next 30 days, okay? Now, I'm only saying do this in a nice, slowly approach, and we would need to go into more detail about this if this is of interest to you. But from there, you can be in contact directly with the landlord and the developer. I will do that once you are interested in moving forward and working on a portfolio builder product with us. And what we're then able to do, if you want a real hands-off approach, is we can manage the property for you. We offer a full management service, which we charge 15%, and that's everything from onboarding the property onto the different platforms from Booking.com and Airbnb, etc., all the way through to collecting the money from the guest, to making sure the guest is looked after. So that if we receive a phone call at 11 o'clock on a Friday night, my team will be jumping on that and making sure that everything is taken care of as far as that guest is concerned. So you can have a real hands-off approach to this serviced accommodation business. Or if you want to manage the property yourself, that's absolutely fine too, and we can go into more detail about that. But this business is all about taking that one property, trying to get to make that £500 net profit per month as a minimum, and then slowly systemizing the business and scaling the business up. I want you to think of yourself as an investor, investing in creating a serviced accommodation business. And so what I'm also keen to do is work with you. I offer, as part of our Portfolio Builder service, mentoring. I offer a 90-day implementation mentoring service to you. We will be together once a month and we will focus on your serviced accommodation business. And that's really, really important because I can share exactly how to do everything. That's not an issue at all. And I do that all the time with everybody at the moment that I work with. But it's about implementing the right things and really focusing in on your strategy. So if your strategy is to create cash flow, this is a great way and a great opportunity. I can work with you to help you build up that cash flow through using Portfolio Builder as a way to accelerate the growth of your business because we've done it all for you. Now, that doesn't mean to say you can't build your own properties along the side of that, and I can work with you through our mentoring program at the same time as well. That is with me on a one-on-one, making sure we really help you build up your business together. So, in summary, Portfolio Builder is a ready-made, done-for-you service. We will hand the property to you, we've negotiated on everything for you, and you buy that particular property, a Portfolio Builder property from us. You can then have it managed or you can manage it yourself. It's entirely up to you which way that you want to go with Portfolio Builder going forward. And then the mentoring is offered as part of this whole service because I'm really keen to make sure I help you, hold your hand and guide you to help you grow your serviced accommodation business so you can create what I've been able to achieve over the past 20 years, which is a